Hello and welcome to the Handy Capable Black Woman Throne Room. My view of humanity is a whole new tea. And today, we're just going to hop right into it because I just saw a video that talked about relationships where one has a child, one doesn't have a child, and like male, female, everything like that. And it's really funny how being a female with no kids yet, a lot of men assume that I never wanted kids. I must not want kids. I care more about my degrees or my goals and everything like that. But then when a man doesn't have kids, it's like they're like, oh, you're going for your goals. Oh, you're trying to make sure you achieve something. Oh, you're trying to do A, B, and C before you got that lady. And yes, women have more of a limited amount of time where that they can be in the production game and everything like that, a reproduction game. But at the same time, I'm. It's sad how women aren't supposed to look for quality. We're just supposed to go out and find. But then some women find somebody and then they find out that person was a mistake. And maybe the kids aren't a mistake, but that person was a mistake. And trust me, I dated a lot of mistakes. And they might call me a mistake too. But it's different when you date men and then they tell you their children are mistakes repeatedly, not just once, not twice, at least 8 times. And then, or you date a guy and he keeps saying he wants to have kids with you. He wants to have kids with you. Oh my gosh, you'd be an amazing mom. We're gonna have beautiful kids. Oh my gosh, you're gonna be so cute. Oh my, they're gonna be mixed. They're gonna be half and half. Aren't you excited? They're the cutest. Yeah, this is the kind of stuff him and his father and yeah, certain people in his family or friends would say. And sometimes I would just look at them and I say, you guys ca- called Muhammad Ali some pretty racist things when it came to uh, some of the injustices with African Americans, with either the shootings and everything like that. They always blame the African American, even though, like, for example, like the gentleman who went and got the Skittles and the tea, they blamed him. What was he doing out at night anyway? What was he? And it's just, I'm like, you just went to the store to pick up something. Oh yeah, but that's different. I was hungry. He was hungry. He got Skittles and oh, that's a snack. That's not food. But anyway, these people would keep telling me, oh, you need to have a kid. You need to have a kid. But then a month or two later, they call me the N word, and I'm nothing but an N word because I'm at the house either studying or working or applying for other jobs and for promotional modeling, blah, 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 blah. That's too long of a story, but that's some examples. But they want me to have a kid with somebody who is addicted to special candy, dropped out of high school, and it's like there's 3 holes in the walls because he punched the walls because he had a temper tantrum. And whenever I wasn't going to give him what he wanted, he would threaten to punch another hole in the wall. And he got fired for from so many jobs because he was stealing from them. He never ever met my family because he told me, and he would brag to his friends that he wanted to come over during the winter time so he could wear a winter jacket so that he could steal from my parents. But yeah, but then after I broke up with him and then he found his middle school sweetheart, he blamed me that he never met my parents. He forgot to tell her that he was planning from stealing from them, but he made sure to let her know that he never met them. Yeah. But this man would get mad at me that we didn't have kids. And the scary thing, he has a daughter now with the woman who when I broke up with him, but he owed me money. I wanted my money back. He told me the only way you'll get your money is if you get back with me and sleep with me a certain amount of times. But so then I was trying to figure out a way to get my money without having to go to small claims. I was trying to look up evidence and everything. But then he found his middle school sweetheart. She called me, kept calling me the N word, and said if I called again, she was going to take me to court for calling. I'm like, I just want my money. You just want my man. Your man doesn't have money. He can't keep a job. Like, if you gave him a special candy test, I doubt he would pass. So, but I was supposed to have a kid with him. And then with Mr. No Heart, he has 2 daughters, calls his daughters mistakes on a regular basis, at least 8 times while he was with me. And then his youngest daughter would come up to me and say that I was going to be her mother's slave because back when Trump was first running for office, their mother, his ex-wife, would brag, walking around the house saying once he's president, she was going to buy me as a slave and whip me until I pass away. And so that the youngest one would come up to me and whisper that to me, or I hate you, like a demon. But yeah, sometimes I'm like, this does help pick her up at the bus stop? Yeah, because I don't think it's a school bus. Anyway, um, and sometimes I wonder, what did I do to this young girl? And yes, that comment was petty. You do not know. Like, I even like her family members were like, why does she hate you so much? And we know it's because of her mother. And that's another problem within like someone who doesn't have kids dating someone with kids, because if they have a parent that is either jealous or cruel, evil, disgusting, conniving, just a plain old bigot, they might do things that will interfere within the relationship of that like honorary step parent or step parent and within the household, because she couldn't stand that I had 3 degrees or that I have 3 degrees, couldn't stand that I was going after like starting my own business and a lot of the just like writing my novel. I don't know why, but it's like either the oldest daughter mentioned it to her, but it got back to my ex, and yeah, I was just like, why is she talking about me? Why is my novel's none of her business? But and that's another reason why, like sometimes, some of the things that I was working on, some of the projects I was so excited about, I couldn't say it to his daughters because it was going to go back to the mom, and she was going to try to figure out a way to like just be disgusting with that. But anyway, so I don't know. It's just annoying how, yes, I've always wanted kids. Back in high school, I thought once I leave these kids that I cannot stand, these awful, evil, no good bullies, and there's just, and it's like, I thought I was ugly. I still kind of think I'm ugly, but it's like, I thought I was really ugly back then. So, but part of me was just like, you know what? Once I get to college, I can find an ugly guy and we can make ugly kids and be together, whatever. And so but then sometimes when I would say I'm ugly, what? You think you're ugly? I'm like, okay, just shut up. It's like, I have like, everybody says I will never be able to find somebody. So ugly people are the ones that are like, I mean, and not ugly physically all the time, but it's just, especially in high school when the boys say you're too ugly, you're too white, you're too proper, no one's gonna want you, or because I walk differently, my disability. So, and I don't know. It's just back then, the way that I thought, okay, the way I was, I don't know. It's just my views. I know. Well, yeah. Now I'm rambling, in anyways, but my views on dating has changed a lot because back then I had the lowest self-esteem. No one's ever going to want you, love you, or marry you as long as you walk like that. That was always in my head. So I always thought I had to date, got like, especially with Mr. Lockakey, the guy who always stole and stuff at his jobs. he blackmailed me to date him to begin with because he said he was going to eliminate himself from the earth if I didn't become his girlfriend. But then he would always threaten me that if he found his middle school sweetheart, he was going to leave her, or he was going to leave me for her. But so then when I'd be like, okay, if you're going to leave me for her, let's just end it. Like, and this is why I think he was the biggest idiot. Because every time I'm like, let's just end this. I don't want to date, like, I didn't want to date you to begin with. It's like the only reason I'm with you is because, well, one, you said you're going to eliminate yourself from the earth if I didn't date you. And second, it's a safe space so I can study. That's that's the only reason. But he didn't understand that. He didn't get that. And because then he would threaten to punch a hole in the wall. You're gonna leave me? You're gonna leave me? Yes, I never wanted you to begin with. But then he kept saying he wants to have a daughter with me and call her Lala. Yeah. I mean, if that's your child's name, hey, congratulations. But yeah, just I wasn't gonna let that happen. But yeah, but he wanted to call her Lala. Um, but then Mr. No Heart has 2 daughters, but calls them mistakes. And then he would tell me, you're too old to have kids. You don't want to have kids. You're lucky you don't have kids. Make sure you don't have kids. He would say that to me continuously, to the point where I remember the night he was playing video games, and I realized he's never going to have kids with me and no one else is going to want me. So I remember saying, I'm too old to have kids. And he looked at me. He was like, I'm glad you came to that conclusion. And then turned back around to his video games. I was an idiot. I was still thinking, I mean, I still know that no one's ever going to want me the way that I am with my disability, because everyone says it. Everyone tells me it. Because even Monday, this one guy wrote me. I met him about 2 years ago, like near the midway in COVID. So it might be 3 years ago. Yeah, but once I told him I had a disability, because it was online, a dating app, he wanted nothing to do with me. He was like, oh, you're a cripple? Oh, no, I'm good. But then Monday, I think it was, yeah, he messaged me literally asking me if I'm still in the chair. I'll put the screenshot in the video so you guys can see it. But it's like, yes, I want kids, and I would like to find someone who wants kids as well. And if they have kids, I would like to find somebody who understands that, yes, I would like to have a relationship with your children, but at the same time, if it's a toxic relationship, I need your help to see why, and or if it's their mom that has the issue with me and she is tearing me apart from your child, you need to go over and talk to her, because my ex refused to do that because his ex-wife, it's like she would, like, whenever I cooked, she told the girls, do not eat her cooking because she is like Snow White's evil stepmother. She's gonna poison the food and eliminate you. So whenever I cooked, we had to pretend he cooked for her to eat it. And then she was like, this is yummy. And he would just take all the credit. Oh, do you love my cooking? You love my cooking. And sometimes I would make pasta from scratch, or not pasta sauce from scratch. So it's like I would make a lot of things from scratch. Did he? No. And so sometimes it's like spending hours in the kitchen, and then he gets all the credit. And then one other example, I'm going to tell the whole story pretty soon, probably closer to the holidays. But once I get the mic, because once I get the mic, there's a lot of stories I need to tell. But there was a year, every year his family goes camping together. And one year he was so broke. Actually, I mean, he's always broke, but this year It's like his car got repossessed. I lent him the money to get that out of repossession. I lent him so much gas money because he could afford gas, but he always spent more money on smoking material than his responsibilities. But then he wanted me to go camping with them, and I refused because I'm like, your fam your family's racist, they're bigots. I don't feel comfortable around them. They always try to make me feel like I should feel guilty, or I should say sorry, for being black. And the way they talk about politics and stuff is degrading and proves even more how bigoted they are. So he's very manipulative, gaslighting, just a horrible human being, in my opinion. But he decided, oh, well, I'm not going to have enough money. The girls really want to go see grandma, because he always did that too, since my I never really got to have a relationship with my grandmother because of, well, anyways, like, she passed away from it. But I've always, like, whenever I could help out from afar, I'm like, oh, okay, they want to see grandma, okay, whatever, here, blah blah blah. But so he was like, you have to come with. And I'm like, I was kind of tight on money because I was trying to pay off because with student loans, credit cards, and everything, I was trying to get that finally paid off, because years of jobs not wanting to hire me because they said either I was overqualified, or they didn't know, like, they would ask me during interviews, why do you walk like that? So it's a different subject, but it ties into this story, because I was going to get cash out, but I was limited, but I had to make sure I had cash for myself. So I was like, okay, here's one of my credit cards. Here, like, whatever. I was like, pay it off. We'll create a contract. You'll pay it off, whatever. No, you have to be there. And I'm just like, tell them to call me, to, like, have a copy of my license. I don't care. Like, I don't want to go, because you do not know how uncomfortable his family would make me. And I was trying at, like, whatever solution, because he kept like, well, that means we can't go. My girls really want to see grandma. Don't you want them to see their grandmother? It's like, won't you feel bad if they go a year without seeing her? And don't you want them to go camping, have some fun this summer? But the reason they didn't have any fun this summer is because you used all of your money on 420 and other smoking material. Yeah. So it's like, it's your fault that they didn't have that much fun. It's your fault that you didn't have enough money. But then you're going to try to turn it around on me, even though I'm working 2 or 3 jobs. I'm investing money, saving money, paying off student loans, and I'm taking care of my responsibilities. But now you want my money so that your daughters can have fun. And so he kept gaslighting me, and basically acting like I wouldn't be a good girlfriend if I didn't do it. So, but then that means I have to go. So I was like, whatever. I was like, I don't want to spend any time with your family. It's like, will there be a tent? Will there be areas where I could just be alone? And, but then right when we get there, because I end up going because he kept just gaslighting me, making me feel like it would be my fault if his daughters didn't go see grandmother. And right when we get there, it's like, I thought, okay, maybe for the first 2 days, he won't need my money. No. Literally, we get to the campsite. He puts his hand out for my credit card. And I kind of look at him like, so you don't have a dime to your name? So we have to get into the camp, and so I give my card, and then they need ice and supplies or whatever, my card. And then after the camping, as we're at his mother's house, but then they had to go pick up his niece and nephew or whatever. We're in the vehicle. And this is the first time I met the nephew. And it was kind of funny, because I remember when the nephew yells out, wow, you're really hot. And I'm like, oh, okay, yeah, I'm gonna make sure I don't sit next to you. Yeah, I'm not sitting next to you. And so, anyway, they go and get snacks for the kids, and he offers to get them. But then he sneaks his hand under the car console or whatever, so no one will know that it's my credit card. It's like, so how are you going to offer to buy them snacks knowing that you don't have any money, knowing that I was just trying to help you be able to get through this vacation, and now you're literally making me pay at like for things that are not needed. And then even going to the gas station with like other car, like he'll be in one car, his mom will drive another car, and I think his brother drove one of the other cars. And he would run up to me like acting like he was gonna treat me to snacks. Hey, do you want a soda? Do you want some chips? It's like, yeah. It's like, I think I want some chips. Do you want some chips? And then kind of like laying his hand on the driver's seat so I can lay my card on, like, because he was trying to pretend like he was gonna treat me to snacks. So yeah, it's like it. I don't know. It's a blessing that we don't have kids. Ooh, but I don't know. It's like I understand the conflict, especially when I broke up with him. I broke up with Mr. No Heart because of his mother being, oh, I think the top reason was, well, the top reason was him, but right next to it was his youngest daughter and how awful she treated me and how everyone allowed her to treat me like garbage. No, like whenever I would be like, can we just sit down? Can we try to figure this out? Or can we even maybe go to the mall? Maybe I can take her to the Build-A-Bear and we can build a bear together and bond or talk, or and oh, we don't need to do that. Oh, that's stupid. Oh, that I'm like, okay, well, I try to plant flowers in a garden in the front of the house. And the oldest daughter, her and I, we were planting the seeds and everything. And then the youngest one, she came up, she picked up dirt, threw it in my face. But then she would cry. She ran into the house. She knew how to put the blame on me because she ran into the house crying. She didn't include me. She didn't include me. When literally her sister and I were literally taking the supplies out, and we were like, hey, we're going to plant flowers. Come with us. Or do you want to take part in the activity? Like, we literally invited her, and she went up and slammed the door in my face. So then while we were planning, she, like, when her dad got home, she wanted to be all sweet and cute and act the role. And then once he got into the house, she picked up dirt, threw it in my face. Yeah, but then he told me that I had to act better with her. Oh, and then he would tell me at the like Sunday night, he doesn't have enough gas money to make it to work. And I wanted to make sure he was able to take care of his daughters, not daughters. Even though I had the worst opinion of the youngest one, even though she would call me a slave, even though she would say she hates me, even though she tormented me, even though she went through my stuff and tore it apart, like I tried my best. I did my best. And so I understand the conflict with dating someone with kids. And I will have a part two, probably part six, because I've dated a few guys that have kids and or men who don't have kids. And then they tell me, well, you waited too long. You don't want kids anyway. So yeah, it's like, just be happy. Just be happy you don't have any kids. So, but anyway, this is the Handy Capable Black Woman Throne Room. I am a woman, I am of color, and I am handy capable. But most importantly, I am human. Bye. Take care. Oh, well, of course, you're human too. And if you want kids or not, that's your decision. But just understand that if you date somebody who either has kids, doesn't have kids, and does not plan to have kids, you have to talk that out, communication, and come to a conclusion before your hearts start having those feelings and everything. So